What's up guys, welcome back to another video. We got a new product here from Banggood. This is the Mantis. It's a four-wheel drive brushless racing buggy. If you're interested, as always, there is a link in the description of where you can buy it. This is the blue version and it is also brushless. I don't see anything here about oil shocks though. So we got a spoiler right here, package here with tools, looks like some extra bearing carriers and some stickers. Here's the car, and then we got a remote that's fairly basic. Spring is actually very smooth on this, as well as in the wheels, so it's not like that previous one I reviewed where it was like super stiff. Comes with a 1500 milliamp 2S lithium ion battery, not a LiPo, lithium ion. So here you go, this is actually enclosed with the brushless motor, and it's a Surpass Hobby brushless motor. That's actually a pretty common motor on these cars. Definitely friction suspension on this. It's got a metal front here, plastic body, and the ESC receiver is a combo. That's pretty much it. There's not much to it. I mean, this thing's pretty cool actually. So I'm gonna install the wing. I'm gonna put some batteries in here, and then we're gonna hit the park and see how this thing goes. This might be something I have to play with at a track because of these nubby tires. All right guys, we are at the park. Got my buddy Clayton here with me. I'd be lying if I didn't say I love the way this thing looks. I put the stickers and the wing on, and it's definitely a cool looking buggy here. No front bumper though, so we gotta be careful. But yeah, let's power it on and just do our standard speed run test. Something tells me this is going to be pretty quick because it's got a fairly large brushless motor in there. Sounds exactly like an IMX. I'm guessing it's also the same ESCs as you find in the IMX cars, which are pretty good. All right, so we have a throttle dual rate, steering dual rate, and steering trim. We're going all the way up on the throttle, of course. Oh, wow. Ooh, that's jumpy. That's pretty quick. Okay. That's at least 20 something miles an hour, right?
It's about 20, 25.
Okay. Controller feels a little cheapish, but I mean, what do you expect for the price? Which I believe is just around $100. Cool. Well, that's good. It's actually not windy here for once too. It's always windy at this park. So let's go onto the gravel right here. I think this is where it's gonna shine. A little bouncy. Oh. Yeah, so that's the problem with friction shocks. They don't absorb anything. But again, what do you expect for the money? Traction's great though. It's not bad. I'm actually... It moves. I definitely think it could benefit from oil shocks. I'm not sure what you could buy that would fit this, but I'd be willing to bet there's something out there. I think on dirt, it's gonna be awesome. Get this thing to a track. We're gonna hand it over to Clayton now. Also, note the brake caliper on the remote. That's a cool touch. Let's see what he thinks.
Right about the dirt, that it would do better in
Yeah,
dirt.
It wouldn't be so bouncy.
Like if I go over to where it's not as many rocks, look at this. Oh,
Yeah, it's when you get over to the big rocks that it's
big
just...
rocks, it's too big for it. It's good.
It's really not that bad, actually. For a little buggy, I mean, it could be so much worse.
It could. Yeah.
It could be really bad. Nice. Alright guys, we are at a track, the Hobby Town in Wesley Chapel. They just finally opened up their track. We have the Mantis here, this little buggy. And I'm telling you what, for having no suspension, it's pretty darn good. Now I have the power turned mostly down, only because it's got a lot of power, and you might find it hard to believe, but look at that. With this turned up, it just can't get any traction. There's no need for it, so we'll keep it down, do a couple laps here. I mean, for the money, you can't go wrong. Is this a professional race car? No, not even close. But I'm having a blast, and I tell you what, it's definitely better than some other little cars. This is really the first of its kind as far as like tests go on a track. So we're gonna see in the future how some of these cars actually end up being, if they're any good. But so far I'm liking this a lot. I've done probably like 30 laps It's finally cleared out, so I pulled out the GoPro. It's just me here on the track. I would imagine most people buying this car aren't going to be bringing it to a track, so. But this is a good test of speed, durability, handling, and it's quite all right. Some closing thoughts on the Mantis. This thing's actually really, really cool. For what it is, I'm really impressed with it. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I don't have a lot of experience playing on the track, so I can't really say I have much to compare it to. That being said, there's no way you could ever have that much fun on a Walmart RC car. Whether or not this thing stands the test of time is to be determined. Whether or not this thing ends up being one of the better RC cars on a track is also to be determined. So take it all with a grain of salt. So this is the other small buggy I have, the Arrma Typhon Grom. And while this thing definitely has the handling, does not have a brushless motor, so it is not going to be as fast as this. So on the track, the speed goes to the Mantis. This is still to be determined. But for $110, guys, it's not bad. It's really not. Now, I will say one thing. They're for sure, this needs to be addressed. These shocks are not good. They're just not. They're not. Clay and I actually took one off and tried to put oil in them, and it was just a nightmare to get them reassembled. Basically, it ended up just coming back out without oil. However, it does unscrew, and you can put oil in them. So again, take all of this with a grain of salt. If you buy it, you can most likely get some oil in there. I don't think it's going to hold it very well, but the option is technically there. And as I mentioned before, I'm sure there is something you can find that will fit here to give this a little bit better suspension. Also, we pretty much burned through these tires. If you remember in the beginning of the video, they were very knobby. Many laps later, they are no longer knobby. I'm telling you, I did a lot of laps in this, and it survived. It really did. It survived. It's really tough to rate these cheapo cars because I just don't know how they're going to stand up to the test of time. But I can say this, I put a lot of laps on this thing, and it did not break. It did not break. So I'm actually in love with this car. This thing is great, and I cannot wait to see if any of these other cars have been tested come even close to the fun that I got out of this, and performance, really. Like I said, I mean, you can only go so fast on a suspension like this, but I was doing it in style. That's pretty much it, guys. If you're interested in this product, there is a link in the description. Using that link helps my channel, so please do if you decide to buy one. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you in the next video. Later!